sports fans, I'm Mark Lowe, and this is your Tuesday Sports Report. Starting out on the ice today, our hockey team's homestand continued this weekend against Maryville, and just like the last time, our Broncos iced the Saints. The Broncos played 2 games against Maryville and broke out the brooms against the Saints. The Tros who won both games, completing the sweep of the Saints for the second time this season. The Broncos' next series comes in the form of West Coast Hockey League rival Missouri State, who are 7-5 on the season, very similar to Maryville. These 2 games will kick off this Friday, November 10th at the Arctic Edge Ice Arena right here in Edmond at 7:05. Now onto the mat. The wrestling team is on the road once again to Poto, Oklahoma for their next challenge. The third-ranked Broncos make their way to Carl Albert State College on the border of Oklahoma and Arkansas to compete in the Viking Open. The Broncos had a great outing at the last event, which was the Bronco Open this last weekend, and look to keep it going against the Vikings. The Tros won't be back home until next month when they open the MIAA play against Newman, which will prove to be exciting. Keeping it in the field house, our volleyball team is once again climbing the national rankings after wrapping up their road games for the season. The Lady Broncos moved up 1 spot to number 16 in the AVCA poll, taking place of West Florida. The Lady Broncos won big on the road this weekend between a narrow victory over Washburn and a dominant 3-0 win over Emporia State to move them to 24-4 on the season. The Lady Tros wrap up their season at home this weekend, starting on Friday against Missouri Southern at 6 in the Hamilton Fieldhouse. Be sure to come out and support the Lady Broncos as they close out the regular season and get ready to head to the playoffs. Last week was opening week for men's basketball here at UCO, but this week is opening week for women's basketball, and they get their start on the road this Friday. The Lady Broncos start their season in Tahlequah against UMary in the Central Regional Challenge. The Lady Broncos are coming off an 11-17 season last year in the first year of head coach Emma Andrews. As of now, they're picked 9th in the MIAA preseason polls and look to make a statement this weekend against UMary and also against Northwestern State. This one is set for Saturday at 1 to wrap up the Central Regional Challenge. Lady Cho's first home game is set for November 21st against Texas A&M International. On to the other bench, the men's basketball team is also on the road with the women's team to Tahlequah to compete in the Central Regional Challenge. The 9th-ranked men's basketball team will be facing off against the same team, starting at 3 right after the women's game. The Broncos are 2-0 on the season after competing in the Small College Basketball Hall of Fame Classic in Florida. The Tros then play against the next day, you guessed it, Northwestern Oklahoma State at 3, again following the women's game. The Broncos' first home game of the season comes on November 19th against Southwestern Christian. Last night was the start of college hoops for D1 schools, and we saw some upsets on both sides of the ball. Starting out in the women's division, we had a pair of upsets in the Hall of Fame series in Las Vegas. 7th-ranked Ohio State and 21st-ranked USC faced off where Trojans freshman Juju Watkins put up an astounding 35 points in her debut to upset the Buckeyes. But the game gaining the most attention, featuring the national champion and first-place LSU Lady Tigers, took on the Colorado Buffaloes, who were ranked at 20. Frida Foreman led the Buffs with 27 points and an upset victory over the Lady Tigers. Over on the men's side of things, only one upset happened, but it came in the form of a top 4 team. Unranked James Madison made their way to East Lansing to face off against the 4th-ranked Michigan Spartans. It was a hard-fought battle throughout the whole game, with James Madison coming away with the upset in overtime. All in all, a great opening night for college basketball, and it'll be an interesting season to watch. Finally tonight, the Thunder were back in action last night after a 2-loss streak, and they looked to find the win column once again. The Thunder were led last night by all-star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who scored 30 and played 37 minutes in the meeting. Jalen Williams posted 21, Lou Dort with 19, and Chet Holmgren had 16 and 12 rebounds, all for the Thunder as well. Isaiah Joe made 3 3-pointers in the span of 50 seconds to give the Thunder an 88-73 lead, and then a 96-77 lead headed into the 4th. In the final 2 minutes, Lou Dort blocked a 3 by Oklahoma Sooner standout Trae Young, which led to Shai alley-oop lob to Williams for a dunk and a dagger to end the game. The Thunder walk away with a 126-117 win over the Hawks, moving them to 4-3 on the season and are in 6th place in the Western Conference. They'll get another chance to move up the rankings tomorrow when they welcome the Cleveland Cavs to town. The Cavs are 3-4 with one of those losses, and thanks in part to the Thunder just about a week and a half ago. This one takes place at the Paycom Center tomorrow night at 7. Miracle CJ, what did you guys think of the Thunder last night? Shai and Chet are pretty formidable duo, but how do you think that will look going into the season?
I mean, I think they look great. Last night was a great game. Congratulations to the Thunder. I mean, I'm excited for the season. What do you think,
It's
CJ?
very exciting. Lou Dort, J-Dub, they're all guys who have grown up exponentially from last year. and it's super exciting time to be an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I can't wait to see what they do.
Absolutely. And coming up.